Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. This is season 11, episode 5. Felicia is not here currently yet. She will be, I'm sure, at some point. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. With us this evening, we have a very special guest. We have Sir Eric. He's in studio. When I say in studio, it's my studio because Felicia still lives in BFE. So that's how that is going to work. But I'm excited because he's my first official guest here. So he's like one of the only people that's actually seen the drag cave being completed. So
it's pretty fabulous.
That's kind of exciting. It is 10 years of being your Wednesday night conversation. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. I am not Felicia Minor. I am, however, Freddie Prince Charming. And you can get exclusive content on our... Oh, hell. Hang on. Oh, there it is. Found it. On our Patreon at patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe. There's after show blips and bloopers. There's a blog that happens. You get to see photo shoots and things first as they roll out, or sometimes only. There are a few things that we haven't even released yet.
I love exclusive content.
It's all about the exclusive content. We would like to thank our patrons, Brandon D., Drake Jensen, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Kim, Joan, Leanne, Nicole, and Shannon. And of course, special thanks to Drake Jensen for taking a deeper plunge on the Patreon. And of course, special thanks to 6S Boutique, LC Designs, and Wigs of a Kind for supporting us. You can donate, support us, tip us, buy us a drink, pay our light bill, whatever it is, at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. We did just get, or at least I got, I'm pretty sure Felicia would have too, our monthly goodie bag from Success Boutique. I post a little boxy opening, what do you call them?
An unboxing.
Thank you. Boxy thing, opening, whatever.
Take stuff out.
Yes, right. I posted that to my Instagram earlier. We always get the coolest things. I got some gold lipstick. He sent some lashes. Okay. I got some gold glitter and some fun aqua color Krylon stuff. Cool stuff.
I love a beautifully packaged cosmetic.
I'm here for it.
Opening it is almost as fun as putting it on.
It really is. And Andy knows that basically whatever he sends me, I'm going to end up using because we won't talk about we won't talk about my makeup collection. Is
it extensive?
Yeah.
You've got to find the right stuff and then use what you know works.
Yeah.
But you do you.
I do all the things though. That's the things that I can't limit myself to just one thing. That's not how that works. I can't do it. You can also text LHAF to 602-730-7379. And you can get updates and texts and whatnot from Felicia. No idea what she sends out. So have fun with that. Not a damn clue. If you are on the Facebook, there's the whole Facebook stars things. If you click on the stars button at the bottom, we can earn money, a couple of dollars or something. I don't know how that works either. No idea how that works. So let's see. No, I don't want to do that. Why can't...
We're the stars. Right?
No, go away. Why does it always make Felicia bigger? I don't know if there we go. Purpose. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. Okay. Felicia, well, I'll make Felicia bigger later. It's fine when she comes back in. Oh my goodness. Hello, DJ Image. We've got Marissa watching. Marissa's who does our wigs and things. Most of the wigs that you see on that wall are from Marissa.
They're delightful.
Yeah, Eric is the first person to actually see my wigs and stuff too, in their entirety. So as long as we're, we'll go ahead and start with my weekend, which was not really a weekend. It was more of a week. I spent all of last week in Houston, helping Randy Wild with US of A at large, Mr. US of A at large nationals. Oh boy. First of all, that drive, the drive. It's very long, and Texas is shit. I hate Texas with a passion. The competition was good. Those boys don't play. Never let the at-large label on any system fool you. Because, first of all, the weight limit for at-large is 200 pounds.
Okay.
So for an AMAB individual hitting 200 pounds, if you're like of average height,
That's not difficult.
no, like that really isn't.
I'm like almost 5'11" and I weigh 180 and I'm kind of slim.
Right. See, so I find that the 200 being, but it is what it is. Like,
you gotta have a number.
Right. But those boys don't play. Like, it was fantastic. The clubwear looked amazing. There are some live singers that just so fucking good.
I love a live singer.
So fucking good. The problem is that, like, so many times in competitions and at bars, the sound system isn't
right.
It's not set up.
And then it's not set up to really showcase them.
Right. And then they end up sounding like shit, and it's not their fault. It's the sound system. But then
they get scored on it.
Right. It's always hard. And I'm never one, like, full disclosure, I am never one to like encourage live singing at competitions because you don't know what the sound system's going to be like.
Right. Like, unless you are familiar with the venue and you've been there before, it really is a roll of the dice. Right.
Like, it can be really tricky. So it's like,
But they did well?
Yes, Randy did well. All of his critiques were things that I pretty much told him.
Okay.
So, you know, there was one thing that happened that I was not, and I have no problem saying, I don't give a fuck. So when contestants are competing, they usually ask for the dimensions of the stage.
Oh, that's pretty standard.
Okay, yeah. Right? How much room do I have to work with? They were given the dimensions. And then when they got there, they decided that, when I say they, the powers that be, decided that it was better to sell tables and put them on like the stage area and then put the judges in front of them, which then cut their performance space about in half.
Ooh.
Which, personally,
what could go wrong?
That's fucking horse shit. Horse shit.
Yeah, because that's not cool.
Randy is an aerialist, so he had a rig.
Oh, so he's going to be like kicking people. And...
The assumption was he was going to have X amount of space to work with.
Right. You need that.
Right. His space was cut down. So a lot of his critiques were, you know, the rig got in the way of the dancers. Well, no shit,
well,
it
did. Wouldn't have.
Right.
If I had the room to
no
go.
Shit, because that wouldn't have happened if they hadn't decided to put the judges halfway up the thing, put tables behind them. I'm like, no. That's horseshit.
Yowza.
That's horseshit, and I have no problem saying that because
that's not cool.
That's bullshit. First of all, the tables around there, unnecessary. There weren't that many people. There weren't. Like, not sorry. There weren't that many people. There was no reason to have that many tables on that stage to be able to take up that. They were on top of the judges. Like, they were. It was. I don't know.
That doesn't sound great.
No. So the fact that happened, and then his critiques were, well, the rig was getting in the way. Well, of course it was.
Right.
You took away half his dance space because it's fine, whatever. So many of you know also that my partner and I have decided to take the kids to Disneyland on Christmas, like Christmas weekend.
Okay.
So we're leaving.
Hopefully nobody will be there.
Actually, it's one of their busiest days.
Oh shit!
But it's okay because we prepared for this.
Okay.
Like, we've got like the Genie app. We're gonna get the Magic Band Pluses.
Well, I just did this.
Yes, you did,
and it was a good time.
Yeah, y'all look jealous.
Thank you.
Very jealous.
We came to slay. We didn't come to play. Lots of people took our pictures. Cruella at the Oogie Boogie Bash actually like stopped the show.
Oh fuck.
So my guy went dressed as Cruella. I was dressed as Maleficent. We did like kind of glam versions of them. And then our friends were the evil queen, Ursula.
Yep.
And so I got to the end of the red carpet so that I could take his picture as he was coming up to meet Cruella. And she stops everybody and is just like, wait, you come here. I want to look at this. So all these people are waiting.
Oh my god,
to see her.
That's fucking fantastic.
And she calls me up to like the edge of the stage and is having me do a twirl and looking at my outfit and everything. And then she saw we were a set and she was like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me?" And I was like, "We don't want to give everything away at once." It's like, that's smart.
So
we got Cruella's approval.
That's amazing. Y'all look fucking tastic.
Thank you.
But the problem with this is, okay, so we're doing this. We're taking the kids. We're making them do the whole Disney bounding thing.
Okay.
So
Did they argue?
they're teenagers.
Right. Nothing is cool.
Right. So we have to force them to do this. They'll enjoy it later, but right now we're forcing them, and
Right.
it's fine.
It'll be very Instagrammable.
Right. So the 24th, we're going to be at California Adventure, so we're doing Marvel.
Okay.
And then we're doing Disneyland on the 25th because it's the 25th and it's Disneyland on Christmas, and it's going to be fucking amazing.
What characters are you doing?
So Marvel is on Saturday. I'm doing Vision.
All right.
My partner is doing Wanda. The kids are doing Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Loki.
Good choices.
Mm-hmm. And then Toy Story is going to be on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing Woody. My partner is doing Bo Peep. We've got an Alien, Buzz, and Slinky.
All right.
So great.
I see a Felicia.
That's hey. Okay, hang on. Let me put the thing back.
Hey, Queen.
Hello.
There she is. There we go. But the problem is that we are now completely obsessed with the fucking Loungefly backpacks.
Oh, I've been bitten by this bug too. So has my guy.
So in the last 2.5 weeks, we have managed to obtain
amass.
Yeah.
Is hoard
like
the correct word?
Probably about 20 backpacks at this
no
point.
Shit.
Yeah. But let me tell you though, I'm the fucking king of goddamn deals because we look on Poshmark, we get them on sale. Like
I do like Poshmark.
Like we have gotten some of like outstanding deals on some of these bags, but we now have a ridiculous collection, and I'm very ashamed of it.
Wow.
I have a couple. My guy Ryan has a couple. Our friends Terry and John have a bit of a collection.
I know John actually.
Yay!
I met John years ago at AIDF.
Oh, how fun!
I know. Well, go figure.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
but they're really cute, and they make excellent like butts and bags pictures. So if you have somebody take your picture from behind, and you're all standing in a cute row, it's good stuff.
Yeah, we have a lot now.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's not doing Slinky. He's doing Rex now.
Okay,
I forgot.
Gotcha.
I forgot because we couldn't find the only Slinky bag that we could find is like $300. So we're like,
there's not a Loungefly out there that's worth that.
Like,
well, no, I mean, but I'm sure people will pay it. But
right, somebody out there obviously is because But I'm like, nah.
$300. That's a day at Disneyland.
Right. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, we when we told him that, it was like, well, you can either get like a generic Toy Story one or like a different character, and he decided to change his character altogether. So now it's with Rex.
You said you're doing the Magic Band because they started that.
Magic Band Plus, yeah.
I got to be with a group that was testing those. The one that I was going to use was having like a little bit of an issue, but they made it really quick and easy. So when you're doing your fast pass, everything is just on like this little watch.
Awesome.
And you're just gonna and everything is done.
It's like a smartwatch, and it like does fun stuff. Apparently, like it interacts with some things.
Yes.
I guess you can like use
There's
it
like
to go
achievements you can get.
You can go bounty hunting, I guess, in the Star Wars experience. Part of that. I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be so much fun. Like I'm excited. I'm tired as fuck, but it's gonna be so much fun.
It's neat, but you'll get your steps in.
Yeah.
Wow.
We will not talk about how out of shape I feel after I go to
Oh
Disneyland.
God! I have to make sure I have my Dr. Scholl so I can put it in my insert.
You know, I discovered that.
I don't even think that helps when you go to Disneyland.
Oh no, it does. Trust me.
It does.
Trust me, it does.
You're walking on hard concrete.
Yeah. Trust me.
It's no mercy at all.
My feet would have died last year for my birthday if I hadn't had my inserts. Like it would have been very bad. I would have been a very, very sad and tired old man. Not that I wasn't anyway, but still.
Yeah, I feel rickety. Like at the end of the day, I'm just all like trying to fall into my hotel room bed.
It's awful. It's terrible, but it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Wow.
Felicia, how was your weekend?
I just never do anything. I stay at home. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you were busy. I was gone and you were busy.
I was. So Thursday morning, and Dee was on this wonderful call. We spoke to some college students about Drag Story Hour,
Nice.
and
fun.
they asked some wonderful questions. In fact, I forgot the name of Sylvia Rivera, because that was one of the questions.
It is literally part of our sex trivia questions. Like,
It's literally like something that I learned a long time ago, and they never gave us the questions that they might ask. And B, I was feeling very on the spot because they asked me something that I probably hadn't thought about, and I was like, whoa, okay, cool. And it was about 1969 and how I told on myself. But it was about 1969 and how all things related, and then I just kind of went into a tangent and then totally forgot the name.
Oh no.
And then but they had very good questions because like once you talk to college kids, you think, oh, they're gonna ask like really lame questions, and they're gonna make me feel like they did make me feel like I was old.
Yeah,
That was the thing. And I was like, wait, I'm in my late 30s, but geez, the way they were talking made it seem like I was like 74 or something.
Right. You're from the
and
before time.
Right.
Yeah, and they were
You're an elder now, Felicia. You're an elder.
Well, and they were talking
Cross that
like, oh
threshold
well,
and
my
take it home.
mom grew up in like the 80s and 90s, and I was like, okay.
You're talking about things you like. They're like, my mom loves that song.
And so yeah, that was good. And then later that night, then Dee was there too for that. We went to Sparkle, Glitter, Glisten, and it was an event to inform folks about the Rainbow Library.
I'm really sad that I missed that. I had so much fun when we got to MC that event a couple years back. I'm really bummed that I actually missed it this year.
This year they had students.
Glisten, GLSEN, Glisten.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed that. I was like, dive, turn, work. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like me forgetting Sylvia Rivera. Anyhow, it was totally not what I expected. It was a different experience. I was sitting at the staircase, and I had to read a book aloud, audience or no audience.
That's interesting. They just
folks had to walk up. Yeah, they had to walk up to me so I could stamp their report card. It was like a passport thing around the area. And then I had to tell them about the Rainbow Library. Yes, I say library. And then when the music kept getting louder, I couldn't read.
Right, you're like yelling.
And the hungry caterpillar.
And it got to a point where I started to, because like when you read, you have a cadence, right? And so, my mind was not going with the cadence that I was reading. It was going along with the music. So I was like, this is not working. So I just started talking to people and holding a book.
There you go. You can hold court on a staircase.
That's awesome. I love it.
So that's where the pictures came from, because I was like, I cannot read with loud music like this at all.
No, I feel like they didn't think that through.
No, well, and people found out about the Rainbow Library, so it's okay.
And that's all that matters.
I did my job, I think.
Sometimes
and then yes. And then on Saturday, I had an interview with Kathy Blaze on Desert Wood Days. I think I said it right.
I don't know what any of that means.
Me either. But
you did an interview.
Yeah, they had a nice studio set up, and I tell you, when I say the brain is not working, the brain is not working at all. I
Oh.
went there with things that I wanted to say, and I left feeling like I didn't say them. So
Oh no.
when you watch the interview, people don't be mad at me because I didn't talk about Drag Story Hour, which I really wanted to talk about. I didn't talk.
Did you
I
at least
talked.
plug our show? Like, come on.
I
No, you
plugged our
didn't. Did you?
show, but like, oh, it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Not the show wasn't stupid, but I felt like,
Oh
you
Lord.
know,
Did you at least look glamorous?
of course.
Okay. Then we will call that a win.
And then on Sunday we had Magic with well, Mia wasn't there. It was Desiree de Mornay that was there. Good show, small but mighty crowd. We need more people on a Sunday. And don't tell me that people don't go out. Don't tell me people don't go out on a Sunday because we could drive by the
People go
Rock
out on
and
a Sunday,
see people.
but-
I see people at the Rock when I'm going home.
I'm old, so like anything that I leave going out to on Sundays for you young people that are aren't.
I only do it once a
ancestors.
month. Only do it once a month.
That's still really hard for me. It's really hard.
I really have to summon the will.
Right,
to go out on a
like,
Sunday.
it's a struggle.
Wow.
Eric, did you do anything fun this weekend?
I went Christmas decorating shopping.
Yes.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, it was actually really fun. My guy is very into decorating for the holidays. And I had lived in my townhouse for like a decade. And I had not put up a goddamn Christmas tree. I just didn't do it. Ever.
Look at you being all domesticated and shit.
I know.
Oh.
Big wild daddy.
Oh no.
But I couldn't be happier. So in 2020, we're all stuck in the house, and he really wanted to get a Christmas tree, so we did.
Mm-hmm.
And now we like to festoon everything. So we do a whole thing for Halloween, and now we were going out for Christmas decorations. We went with a little group of friends. We hit like Home Goods and Ross and At Home, TJ Maxx. We did like
those are our go-tos too. Like we hit
we bought every glitter covered flower that they had.
Excellent.
So we're gonna cover everything with all of the sparkly flowers. We did a little winter wonderland in the restroom and downstairs.
Puppy's gonna end up with glitter poops.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be a thing. He doesn't eat that much random stuff.
It's just everywhere.
It just gets into everything.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll be finding glitter.
It'll be festive. But
it was a great time, and it's cool to see all of the stuff they have. People bitch about like we shouldn't skip Thanksgiving, but I'm like, Thanksgiving's fine. I like the food, but
the holidays,
all of the kitschy fall decorations, I'm not here for.
No. Also, let's be real. The holiday is based on genocide and colonialism. So
yeah,
like it's
they tried to change it around. They've tried to change it around. Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to just skip it and because we're gonna start decorating this weekend.
Okay, there you go.
We have. Is it one or two of our storage things, babe, that are full of large tubs with Christmas decorations?
Oh, look at we got people that
people want to see the results. And
I will post some photos, Jesse.
I'm stupid when it comes to like the holidays. I'm that sappy person that I'm just like So to stay awake from driving home from Houston, I found the holiday station on my Sirius XM because it was the only way I was gonna be able to stay awake, and I was singing along at the top of my lungs because that's what it is. It's what it is.
I like 3 Christmas carols, 3 of them. Like the others I can deal with, but there are 3 that I really like. O Come, O Come, Emmanuel.
Okay.
Done in the original style.
Okay.
Carol of the Bells.
Okay.
Done in the original style.
Okay.
And Silent Night, specifically in German.
Okay, so you're kind of a purist then when it comes to like holiday songs.
A little bit.
See, I'm like I could care less about the I couldn't care less about the Christmas shit. I'm more like the holiday stuff. Like, wait, walking in Winter Wonderland.
Yes.
Silver bells.
Silver bells is
Because
nice.
I'm like I like the holiday feel without the Jesus part of it.
Yeah, I'm not a Christian either.
Like I can skip the Jesus part of it. Although a
I like
really
me a
good
good
rendition of
gospel
"Oh Holy
tune,
Night"
though.
will get me teary-eyed
Okay.
Who?
if done right.
A gospel tune is delightful.
If done right.
I really like well done gospel music.
If it's not done right. Speaking of doing things right, that leads me into our tip this evening. And because we have Sir Eric with us, also, let me just we did not plan on basically dressing
I was almost going to wear this hat, and then I didn't. I was like, I'm going to do a crown instead because I had like the black.
Oh, thank God it wasn't me.
Yeah. I opened the door and we just kind of looked at each other and went,
laughed. Like, well,
God damn it. Because I, of course, am wearing eye makeup because why not? So, yeah.
I wasn't going to sit between you two and not have eye makeup on. So I was like, all right.
So, yeah, this was not.
I'm not wearing a thing. This is
just a little bit of chapstick.
Right. Chapstick and some eyeliner. That's about it.
That's all I did. That's what took me so long.
Figures. That's about right. So, because we have Sir Eric with us and we don't have too many opportunities to talk about the actual leather community and the things wrong way. That's what we were trying to do earlier and it wasn't working. So I decided that this evening we talk a little bit about the sort of leather scene in the old guard versus the new guard, because there's still a lot of
conversation.
It is a conversation. And I think that a lot of the sort of older folks are still very much about the old guard. And then it kind of,
wait, before you go, before you dive in, can you tell people what that means and why it's so important that it's a versus at this point?
Sure. Okay, so what's considered to be sort of the golden age of leather is the decade that starts around 1972 and then goes to about 1982. That's sort of considered to be the golden age of leather. It was right up until when the sort of the AIDS crisis hit, and that specific community was one of the communities that got hit really hard as far as infections and things like that. But the leather community as a whole has been around sort of as we know it since the 50s. I'm sure there's been plenty before that, but I think it's based on research, it's about the 50s is when the leather scene as we kind of know it is when it sort of popped up.
I think that was when a lot of people started to become aware of each other.
Right.
Because many of the clubs that we look back at now had existed sort of just in pockets.
Right.
So we didn't have the internet then, and people just were in their own little isolated communities. So
oh my God.
We hear people talk about leather traditions and where things came from. A lot of that is from how things were done with a specific club, maybe in a specific region.
Yep.
And then maybe somebody else hears, third hand that, well, they did it this way. And then a generation later, people are like, oh, well, this was how it was always done.
Right.
And so there's a lot of conflicting histories because there were a lot of different traditions that were practiced in different areas by different groups.
I do know that for a hot minute there on East Coast versus West Coast, East Coast, if you were a dominant or a top, you actually flagged right instead of left.
No shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then eventually West Coast kind of
when people travel and messages are mixed.
That kind of took over.
Those of you who haven't heard of flagging, so
you should by this point. We talk about it enough on this show.
Right? It's
Jesus Christ.
But it's just a visual shorthand for letting people know what you're into. You can use colored handkerchiefs. Sometime back in the day, people would use the keys. They would hang their keys on one side or the other to let them know if they were looking to fuck or get fucked.
Right.
And then all the different colored handkerchiefs. You can Google the hanky code. It's out there. Although the modern version is so long. It's a little
16
ridiculous.
pages. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh.
It's a little crazy. It's a lot.
The different colors all stand for different things.
Right. So back during the sort of golden age of leather, there was a social order of the time, and that is kind of what became and kind of what developed into what we know as the old guard. I have my notes because I do research. So there was the sort of the standard uniform. Again, quotes, lots of quotes here, folks. Lots of quotes here, folks. And the more of this uniform that one wore, the more into the scene that they were. So you would have things like boots, specifically things like motorcycle boots, faded Levi's, plain black leather belts, plain t-shirts, keys, Eric mentioned, either worn on the left or the right side, leather motorcycle jacket, denim vest, leather gloves, leather cap or leather cover, leather chaps, leather pants.
All of this? All at one time?
Not all at one time, but
that's not all one look. No, this is
you could, but you'd look really weird.
There would be a lot of things.
Those were like the standard pieces to the uniform.
Oh, okay.
And there would be some places that like wouldn't let you in if you were not appropriately attired.
Correct.
What?
So and like generally the caps and the leather pants were usually worn more by dominance, and it all had to be black. There's no other
we didn't do colored leather.
No brown leather, black leather. That was all that was, vests, harnesses, and hankies were pretty much not a thing. You never saw vests. You didn't really see harnesses. And the hanky code was not really a common thing at that point. It was mostly just the keys that indicated whether you were top or bottom.
I heard a great thing from one of our other local leathermen, Boy Scotty, who is fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling us how back in the day with square dancing, when they didn't have enough women, they would have some guys with a red handkerchief and some guys with a blue handkerchief to let everybody know who was supposed to be leading or following.
I had no idea. That's fascinating.
So I feel like there's like probably a little bit of a crossover there.
I think probably. I have a feeling that I had no idea.
They were just.
I didn't grow up in the States, so like square dancing, anything as beyond like I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it was the whole thing, and they would dance with the handkerchief and everything too. But the color let everybody know what position you were supposed to be doing.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's fascinating. Along with the uniform that comes along with that, you also had to behave properly. Again, large quotation marks there, which meant basically. Back then there was the sort of code and the values of loyalty, honor, trust, masculinity, and fraternity. And
I've never heard of
masculinity was a big thing. That was big. And
I have a theory about a lot of them. In nature, sometimes prey animals will adopt the camouflage of their predators so that they don't get eaten.
Right. Yeah.
Like there are snakes that will evolve the markings of other venomous snakes so that people don't fuck with them.
Right.
And I feel like on a level, maybe as queer people, back then they were living below the radar. They didn't want to be targeted. Right. So adopting the camouflage of the masculine men around them,
straight acting,
made them less likely to be targeted for violence.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I honestly, that still happens today.
Yeah.
By leaps that I've tons like that mask for mask looking for only mask, and I'm straight acting. What the fuck does straight acting even mean? That's a whole.
I'm straight acting.
The other facet to that though is that we also just as people, our brains sometimes eroticize trauma in order to deal with it.
Yep.
Like you'll see some people that will treat things like a joke or like. You hear about EMTs developing like bad gallows humor because they see horrible things.
Yeah.
And they have to be able to cope somehow.
Yeah.
And sometimes we will sexualize things that have traumatized us.
No, for sure.
So I feel like there is some of that goes on where we are harmed by this image of what masculinity is supposed to be. And then in order to cope, we kind of eroticize it.
Right.
But if we're not breaking that down or dissecting it, we can unwittingly perpetuate that harm.
Right. Then we end up with toxic masculinity and all sorts of things that go along with it. Let's see, part of the old guard as well. Like if you were out in public, you also needed to follow protocols regarding whether between master slave, dominant submissive, all these things. And you kind of instinctively knew and understood what those protocols were, but it was expected. In order to be a part of the leather community, you had to be a part of a family, a house, or a clan. Or you were an outlier, and
you might not have been considered vetted.
Right.
That
And
sounds
by
so
that,
gay.
I'm right. But by that, I mean, like, when you have a group of kinky people that are seeking each other out, and maybe somebody's like, ooh, I want to get whipped by somebody, or I want to get tied up, and they're doing things that potentially, if you're doing it with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, you could get hurt.
Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've seen demos by people and I'm like,
Stop!
oh my God, what are you doing? Stop it. Like, oh God.
But I can see how things like houses or clans potentially would let other people know that you've at least been observed and taught some things by some other people. That
as long as you're not getting taught the wrong things by people, because there's
that, but at least people can see, okay, somebody else knows who this person is.
Right.
So maybe they're not as big a risk.
And then, of course, there's the big one where you had to earn your leathers.
How do you earn the leathers?
You had to earn your leathers, which usually came from the houses or the clans or whatever. Like you
undergoing some sort of a mentorship.
Something. Yeah.
Getting fucked by the right person. Like
right. And that, right.
So politics.
It's, in a lot of ways, yes. You know, earning your leathers could be anything from, wow, you did this really cool thing or whatever. Right. So here's this.
You did my boots really well. I'm going to give you this jacket.
Right. Or, you sucked my cock the way that I expected it to be sucked. So here's the, right. So, I mean, it doesn't, in the end, I don't think it necessarily means.
I imagine it was all very regional.
Right.
Everybody probably had their own customs and preferences.
Right.
People that say there was like a whole universal set of rules, like, there was never a set of engraved leather tablets that we all.
No,
we didn't have kinky noses. There was none of
that. Today, though, I would think it's very different. Like
highly different.
Uniform is basically whatever the fuck you're comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
In whatever best represents you. You still have the standard covers. You still have, you still see the chaps, you still see the motorcycle jackets, you still see all of that, but now you also see harnesses, you see vests, you see kilts, colors. Oh my God, the colored leathers,
all of the different leather.
PVC, even vegan leather, lace, all of these things, like
rubber
and vinyl, all these different things, fur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mixed into sort of the typical leather looks. So that's been a big thing. And I know as far as like some of the competitions that has ruffled some feathers.
It has, but I'm seeing the needle move. I got to compete at International Mr. Leather in June. That is where I got this medallion. Everybody that competed gets one. And it was a really fabulous experience. I looked very different in terms of the gear that I wore than a lot of the men that were there. But my experience was very, very welcoming. And I received all of the compliments from all of the guys that were there. And they enjoyed that I was bringing something different. I was not the only one. There were a few other guys that.
All right, I like that.
I remember when Pup Tugger competed.
Yeah.
And he stepped on stage with those heels.
That was in 2015.
And everybody...
It was like,
oh my God, like the collective clutching of pearls in the leather community was just like, oh my God.
What I'm seeing now, thankfully, is that fewer pearls are being clutched.
Yes.
And now it's more that, like, if pearls are being clutched, everybody else is like,
right.
Come on.
It's like, get over it. It's 2022.
Right.
Like,
we're past that now.
Like, really, if you haven't seen this already, like, get out from under your rock. Like, it's
the judges too. I got lots of comments about the amount of authenticity that I brought, and they were looking for somebody who could kind of creatively represent. They weren't looking for like a cookie getter.
Like, that's what I would hope it would be about, would be the authenticity of it. Because if someone who, goes out in full leather gear with just what you would sort of think of the stereotypical Leatherman, like, but that's not who they are.
That reads. You can totally see if somebody isn't wearing something that they're really comfortable.
Right, and it's actually the same with the AMAB folks with like the drag pageants and stuff.
I was going to say
like
that
the misters and because it's the same thing. You have them, and because for the longest time it was you have to be masculine, you have to be masculine presenting, everything in your package has to be masculine,
And absolutely no glitter.
right. Oh my god, no sparkles, no nothing.
Really?
And oh god, it was
very
bad.
weird.
Like it was very toxic, and you'd see these boys compete who they were obviously not masculine. They just
Flamboyant.
weren't. That wasn't who they were. But they'd go out there and try to butch it up, and it'd be like, oh, honey, no. Like you could see they were so uncomfortable.
I'm thinking of Nathan Lane in the Birdcage.
Oh my god, right. Where he just
pink socks. I look even more obvious to you now, don't I? Yes, you do.
Right. Does want a touch of color.
One wants a touch of color.
Right. And slowly it's been rough. But even with the Kings, it's been the same thing.
Huh.
They always, for the longest time, they wanted you to look like a boy. They wanted you to act like a boy. They wanted masculine presenting.
They're doing like the gender illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, but there are like plenty of boys out there that aren't masculine.
Yeah.
Like, so, but because
I
more
would
and
say
more,
that's in general, right? Like,
right.
Like I, growing up as a flamboyant femboy, would be like, no, you need to tough it up. No, I don't. I really don't. This is me. Thank you, and I appreciate it.
And it's tougher to be.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
yeah.
This is not easy. Like, and to be able to step away from that and compete authentically, whether it's leather, whether it's drag, whatever it is, that shit's hard because especially if you're one of the first people to kind of do it, because that first time I was gonna be like,
yeah, people are not gonna know what box to put you in.
Right. I'm gonna be like,
I was the one at IML that other people came to for help with their eye makeup though.
I have discovered that I'm the daddy of interview. I tied everybody's ties in Houston,
and I bet they all looked fabulous.
Of course they did. I walk into the bathroom and there's like 4 guys in there in front of the mirror and they're all going.
They didn't figure it out before they got there?
They didn't know how to tie. And then they look, do you know how to tie a tie?
Yes, honey.
Give me your tie.
Did you give him the disappointed dad look when you put the tie on?
He retied his tie.
Proud dad look when he's tying the tie for him.
No, that's not on brand for him.
This poor guy retied his tie 3 times, and the skinny part was still longer than the front. And I was like,
let me help you.
I'm walking around.
Right there.
Let me unbutton this button. Don't button that second button on your jacket. Like, let me unbutton this. Let me fix this. I'm like the dad of like the pageant world now at this point, because that's what I'm like. Here, let me fix your tie.
You know what? He's gonna have a story to tell about you though. That you saved his tie.
All of them are gonna be like, oh, you remember that little short old man that was going around tying everybody's ties?
What was his name?
Right. Damn it. That's me.
Oh my God. I'm sure they were grateful.
They were.
It was on the inside.
They were.
Disappointed dad look. Yes.
And then like with as far as like leather and stuff today too, it's like I think that as a community, I think it's more open to folks. Like you don't have that requirement of being a part of a clan or a house or whatever to be welcomed. Anybody can come in, and mentors and mentees and things like that are helpful. They can help make the intro to the community easier.
Yes.
But they're not required per se. Sometimes they are if you are a part of a specific club or as part of a specific group. But as someone who happens, if you're someone that kind of runs solo or whatever, it's not like, well, we're not.
Right. I will say we still look for people to be vetted.
Yes.
So I am one of the affiliate members of the Phoenix Boys of Leather. And one of the things that they do is whenever somebody is entertaining meeting somebody new, or they're wanting to like go to a scene maybe with somebody that they haven't done before, people check references. Ask hey, do we know this guy? Like,
which I think is a very good idea, because just based on the things that I've seen and talking to people, and oh my God, doing our sex trivia once a month, Jesus Christ, There are people that like, no, you don't know. You don't know.
I have given both red lights and green lights before.
It's terrifying, some of these things.
We have seen a lot of red lights at sex trivia.
Jesus Christ.
Well, he doesn't know about his own body, so he may not know about yours.
And how tragic is that?
Oh my God, it's
Well,
terrible.
they're the ones that are self-proclaimed sex experts.
Sexperts.
Oh.
Every time you tell me you're a sexpert, I'm going to assume that you know nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's
and it's usually true. It's usually true.
Yeah. And you're usually going to be cisgender and
the vulva is on the inside.
No.
Okay.
No,
okay.
yeah, no. The internal labia. But correct, yeah.
But that,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also don't understand. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there. Why is it so hard to find? It's right there.
No. The vulva is just the lips. Just the lips. But not the internal labia. Oh.
The cis het guys do not want to hear him when he says, "You're wrong. Please look at the picture on the screen."
Literally, there's like a diagram. I'm like, no, you see all of this out here? All of this external stuff. All of this. This is the vulva. Okay, but what about the internal labia? No. There are no internal labia. There are not some, like, just the...
That's maybe not the best gesture for the conversation.
But that's exactly what it is, though. It's like
There's like the majority.
Yeah, but none of them are internal. They're not internal. They're still external. They're just, but they're not. I don't want. 3D. I don't want the 3D models. I want the puppets. I need a vulva puppet. Is what I need.
Oh,
that's what I need. I can just.
I might know somebody that makes puppets.
Right. That's what I need. Is a vulva puppet.
I mean, I've seen like the whole costume where.
What?
There is yeah. I've seen a few folks in vulva costumes. They're quite fun.
They're like made.
Oh my God! Felicia's gonna do this. Fine. You find the vulva like costume. I'm gonna wear the inflatable eggplant.
There you go.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Is it inflatable? Wait, is it inflatable?
It's inflatable. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
It's an inflatable eggplant.
Okay, y'all go ahead.
Felicia finds a vulva.
She's like, oh, please.
So, I mean, to round off the tip, like
Sorry, I'm 12.
Any thoughts on the old guard versus new guard when it comes to the avant-garde? Is how the old guard versus the avant-garde.
I would say that my lived experience has changed over time. Like I would say even as recently as 2015, like when we were talking about Tucker.
Yeah.
I definitely like from certain segments of the leather community, I got some eyebrows if I would, go out and fur and leather and stuff. But now that's not the case. And I would also say it depends very much on where you are. Phoenix, weirdly, you would think like being in Arizona, you wouldn't expect Phoenix to have like this really progressive sex community. But my experience is that we do. And in traveling around and being with other leather groups and other places, I find that the diversity that we see here is actually pretty great. But the prevailing attitude seems to be that folks are welcoming of innovations and understanding that this is the way it's going to go if we want the leather scene to continue, that it's going to have to diversify. And for the most part, it seems like people are welcoming of that. I think there's still a few holdouts, but I think just like any change over time, those just kind of get worn down. And then the new becomes the new norm.
And then, of course, there's the fact that trans folks are far more welcome in the community than they have been. There's still some ruffly feathers that happen, and I remember when former IML trans guy, what is his name?
Our last IML was a trans guy.
I know. What's his name?
Are you thinking of Tyler? Jack was the last IML.
Okay, it might be Jack. It might be Jack. Because I remember when he won, there was some interesting comments.
There was a
from
little bit of
people.
silliness about
There
it.
was some, people are like, shut the hell up. Like,
Our current international Mr. Bootwhack is a
Yep.
trans man as well.
Yep. So, and I think a few years ago that would have not been a thing. I think that's, because with toxic masculinity comes things like misogyny, and there's no way that a trans man could be anything.
Well, he can turn out a pair of boots.
Right.
And he's a fantastic guy. I got to spend some time with him
Oh,
while
that's
I was in
awesome.
Chicago.
That's awesome.
Hi,
So,
Alistair.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of growth happening. I still think that there's growth that needs to happen, but
Progression.
I think with anything, it's just one of those things that it's going to take more people to quiet the other voices and help them understand that this is shit happens, change happens.
Right.
Like, this is just like anything, things grow, things change. It is what it is.
I think the rest of us will celebrate loudly,
Yeah.
and those that have ugly things to say won't be heard.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much what we need
It's
to do.
always
with
the people with
Republican
ugly things to say that soon join in.
Party.
Because I remember
Yeah.
when Freddie went up there with a corset on. Now you're seeing people in corsets. I don't know.
Now you're seeing people in corsets like they fucking invented it. I'm like,
I'm like,
You're welcome.
oh.
right. Like, now
I
all of
thought
a
you
sudden
guys
everybody's wearing
hated
corsets, and I'm
this.
like,
How many
okay.
people do you think we'll see like in leather and fur after?
Oh, right. Now all of a sudden this is going to be the thing. It's going to be leather and fur now.
Oh, I just ordered leather and fur. That's what I was doing.
Right.
Felicia's like, that's
Right.
going to arrive.
Right.
No,
tomorrow.
just kidding. I found the vulva, inflatable vulva. The reviews are mixed. One says this is small.
Look,
Size
we
could be an issue.
we don't size shame here.
We don't size shame, but
it's
not accounted for.
I understand that things can be, it can be smaller. Sometimes it just needs a little more working up to things.
The costume.
Like,
I'm talking about the costume.
You can't, but still, you can't just throw it out. Like, you just, sometimes it just needs you need a second.
Well, another review says this is glorious. It was everything I'd hoped for.
Okay. I love a glorious vulva.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of everything I hoped for, Katie Hobbs was declared the winner of the Arizona gubernatorial race. Thank fucking God. And Carrie Lake was declared a big, whiny, sore loser. Surprise, surprise.
Did she do her thing and say, I declare that I'm a loser?
No, she said Arizonans know BS when they see it. That's why we voted Katie Hobbs.
She has her little paper that says, I declare that I am the loser.
I don't know if she's.
I don't think she has.
She probably won't, because I'm pretty sure that Trump to this day probably hasn't.
He has, yeah.
So
he hasn't conceded.
It's like it's whatever. I'm a little concerned at how close it was. It should not have been that close.
It shouldn't have been that close.
It should not. And it's like, while I'm celebrating the fact that she is a little shithole of a human that lost, the fact that it was that close makes me very nervous, because it should not have been. And it's like, yes, celebrate the fact that we now have a Democratic governor for the first time in 15 years, I think.
A long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
But don't celebrate too hard, because that was too close.
We were talking about change a second ago.
Right.
And there was a time not that long ago when even the idea of an election going this way would have been like, ha! Right. So I feel like we're still on the continuum. I think you're right, though. We can't
I'm here for it. The fact that
I agree.
it wasn't a landslide.
Right.
There was the fact that we were checking, refreshing every fucking day, that should not have been a thing. There should have been a wider margin, and the fact that there wasn't is concerning.
Yeah.
So
it's the saying that the arc of justice is long, but it bends toward truth. My hope is that in the future,
right,
maybe we're in the middle of that arc, and that down the road, maybe crazy people that's about conspiracy theories won't be allowed to run, or nobody will take them seriously. That'd be nice.
Last week, when I talked to Dina Nina, when she joined us, we talked about the election and how the GOP have everything kind of organized. They may not be the smartest, but they are the most organized. And when they come up with a plan, they trickle that plan on, and they don't let it go. They keep going with that plan until they get what they want. But often people that are more liberal per se, I don't want to say Democrat, but are not creating a plan and then sticking to it and carrying it through, because then they get all flustered. Like the Donald Trump thing, if I feel like the other side would have came up with a plan, they would have conquered
Well, you remember
that.
during the primaries, I was like, where the fuck is even Katie Hobbs? Like, she wasn't saying
Mhm.
anything. There was nothing. There were no signs up. There were no nothing. And I was like, is she still running?
Mhm.
Like, there was nothing. And I was like, what the fuck?
I
Like,
was happy she didn't debate her.
I'm glad that she didn't debate her, because it would have just been a hot fucking
It would have
shit
just
show.
been-
It would have
yeah.
been terrible.
It would have been a circus.
But it
Mm.
just, like, because we had even talked about it when with the primaries. I was like, where is Katie Hobbs? Like, she didn't do any interviews. She didn't do anything. There were no like campaign signs. There were no nothing. She was very silent, and I was kind of concerned about that. I was like, why aren't you out here talking? Like, there was nothing. I was like, you better get your ass in gear, because also, Felicia, I'm gonna say it's probably a good thing that I wasn't on the show last week, because if I had found out that what's his nuts
Uh-huh.
didn't get around to voting, I would not have been nice about it. Wouldn't have. Nope.
Mhm.
Nope. Sorry. Wouldn't have been nice about it. You can't tell me that I didn't get around to it. No. Well, you didn't get around to voting.
Voting in Arizona is actually really easy.
Well,
I'm like, there's literally no excuse.
and I had brought up that he said that he had just moved, so I said, well, why didn't you drop it off in your nearest drop-off spot?
Right.
I like dropping it off the day off,
That's
actually.
I do. I like to do. It's almost like a fast pass in the voter line. It's like a.
I had to drop it off a couple days ahead of time, because I was going to be on the road on actual
Okay,
voting
there you
day.
go.
But like, there's literally no. Don't tell me you didn't get around to voting, because that's not going to work for me.
Please vote.
Not gonna.
I don't know.
Oh
what
It's
I
fine.
did, but
It's fine. Something is probably just
Eric,
balanced
what
on
did you
something. that fell.
kill?
It's fine. You can't see anything. Nothing here.
This is all an illusion.
Oh, fine.
Perfect illusion.
And of course, while plenty of states did go red, the red wave that the Republicans were hoping for didn't actually happen.
It's like
It was
like a meh.
It was trickled, but it was
It was a
not the
light
wave
day.
that they had anticipated. So at least there's that.
It was a light day.
There is that.
just some spotting.
No heavy red. So speaking of heavy red and lots of bronzer, Donald Trump has declared that his intentions for 2024 is to run for president.
I feel like he is gonna. I don't think that's gonna go the way he wants it.
I don't think it's going to either, and I'm really hoping that with all the shit that's happening, there's going to be something that's going to completely, basically, make him ineligible. But the fact that it's just,
yeah,
Peace,
the fact that
buddy.
it's a thing, like, oh my god,
this is the color of Donald Trump's face right here.
But bronzer looks much more appropriate on you.
Fact checkers are already going nuts. At least 20 misleading. Sorry, I read this earlier, then I was laughing too. At least 20 misleading and inaccurate statements during his speech, from gas prices to the records he took off tariffs on China. We're still recovering financially and economically from Donald Trump.
Oh, no, he fixed everything, and he made everything. He did all the things, and don't forget that Obama took a whole bunch of stuff with him as well when he left office.
Says whose checkbook and how?
Not a thing. I don't know if you heard about this. So
I avoided this.
Felicia just changed the channel.
So Dave Chappelle hosted SNL, and
How'd that go for you?
Again, I don't know why the hell they let him on SNL after his transphobic bullshit, but whatever. At this point, I'm nothing surprises me. Apparently, he used his monologue to talk about the anti-Semitic comments made by Kanye and the NBA player Kyrie Irving. But instead of condemning them and being like, no, being anti-Semitic is wrong, he actually doubled down. He reinforced Kanye's anti-Semitic rhetoric, said that it's okay to be anti-Semitic, you just can't talk about it in today's climate. Expressed surprise that Irving had gotten in trouble for promoting an anti-Semitic film, and said that I know Jewish people have been through terrible things all over the world, but you can't blame that on Black Americans.
Okay. But we also can't be another minority.
Nobody's blaming anything on Black Americans. What the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe just don't be shitty to Jewish people.
Seriously.
Yeah, or be kind.
He's got this weird ass thing where apparently he thinks that only one group of people can be oppressed at a time. Like he said that the world cared more about the LGBTQ community than the Black community.
I'm sorry. Have we not? Are we not living on the same planet?
No. He doesn't seem to grasp that you can multiple groups can be oppressed at the same time. Like
in different ways.
This is a thing. And you can, in fact, be against homophobia, racism, and anti-Semitism at the same time. You don't have to pick one.
Oh my God, how dare you?
Can we stop, like, Jesus Christ, can we just stop with
Don't call out Jesus.
We need to just, can Dave Chappelle just go away? Like, can he actually, like, he's not learning. He didn't learn the first time or the second time.
Well, what does he need to learn? People keep booking him.
And that's exactly it.
Which is the problem.
That's the problem. Okay. Is that
so we've talked about this before. We talked about canceling the last time you were here.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is, you know how you guys were talking about the new guard and the old guard? I feel like newer comedians know where the lines are, right? I feel like the old guard, the older comedians are like, we can push the boundaries. We can keep pushing the boundaries because that's what
we
minority
do.
Right. Yeah, that's what minority comics had to do anyway. But evolve, right? We need people to evolve, but that's not happening because you're right. If we keep booking them, are they gonna go, I don't need to change that. They booked me, so the material's good. I'll just keep doing it. Now, if somebody says, I will not book you until you fix this, your career goes into shambles, you think, okay, well, bitch, I need to fix this. That hasn't happened to any of these people.
I mean, for fuck's sake, Kanye's fans put a GoFundMe together for him. Like,
the saying about a fool and his money.
Oh God. So yeah, that concludes. On to bigger and better things. We actually get to talk to our guest about our guest. Yay!
I love talking about.
Well, I would hope they like to talk about themselves.
Excellent. So you know what? Tell us about yourself.
Well,
who are you? What do you do here?
Welcome to interview.
Right.
we're all judging you all at the same time.
All right. What are my categories? Okay. My name's Eric, and I was Mr. Phoenix Leather in 2020. I won just before the pandemic happened, so my title year was really long. I just competed this year, but I have been active in the leather scene for over a decade now. I think I first started kind of coming around in like 2010, 2011, and I have been friends with the Phoenix Boys of Leather like pretty much that whole time. And outside of leather, I'm also an artist. I draw. You just won a drawing of mine at a competition. In fact,
that you knocked over?
No. It's done. This was, I don't know if you can see. There it is.
Oh, I
I
love
colored and won this.
Yes. I do have an Instagram if anybody wants to take a look. It is the Mayan Viking, and I have all of my illustrations and photography there. But as a leather man,
Take the Y off.
yeah,
Oh.
Mayan Viking, the Mayan Viking. But
I
as a
do
leather
think saying
man,
that
I
name.
very much started in that kind of, I would say, off the rack leather look that you were first talking about. And looking back at pictures of myself, I can see that I'm like, okay, I was trying this out.
Right.
But that wasn't like going to be my jam. And then over time, as I look at pictures of my leather looks, they have very much changed. And thankfully, the community here in Phoenix is actually very, very supportive of that. I hear lots of great, fabulous compliments. People always
loving your crown.
I'm going to have to make you one.
It's fabulous. It's so fantastic.
Crowns are a thing now, too.
They are.
That's a thing.
I'll take one.
Okay, I'll work that out. I got into leather first, like with porn, you know. I was
As
looking
every
at
good
things that
thing.
turned me on.
I think
that's
usually how
that's
That's
just
how
kind
it
of like the
happens.
introduction,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And then fortunately, I was able to meet some people that showed me the ins and outs and showed me the ropes.
I see what you did there.
Right. And I was able to learn through experience. I had some play partners and relationships that did not always turn out personally the way that I wanted them to, but I learned a great deal from them. And
yeah,
that's experience that I try to pass on to other people that I want their learning experience to maybe be a little bit less bumpy.
What was the biggest lesson?
That people who do not have anyone from their past in their present are to be examined closely.
So in general, like, are you talking like just in general, or like past partners?
Both. So I learned that people that don't have anybody from the past around, there's usually a reason for that.
Okay, to be fair, most of my past partners, were complete psychotic, like bipolar.
We don't want them around. We
We
don't.
don't want that. We don't need that kind of negativity.
Sometimes we outgrow
like,
that, but like if you don't have any friends,
No, you don't
you
don't outgrow this. It like needs to go away.
No, I get that makes sense though. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I get that. Okay.
Yes, current partner excluded.
Yeah, well, no. Thanks. She's crazy in her own
We
way.
said
It's
exes. We said
I
exes.
did say exes. I did say exes.
You're so sensitive. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God, you're gonna get me in trouble. Jesus Christ.
We do have a big event coming up this weekend.
Yes, I know. I'm very excited.
And there's actually an online event happening right now. It is called Wax-A-Bear. It is exactly
porn?
what it sounds like. So if you think
somebody's porn,
big hairy men,
Mm-hmm.
well, I should say people, not all of the people that we're waxing are men. But big hairy folks get bid on like an auction, and then whoever wins gets to.
Oh my God!
They howl and everybody claps, and money goes to charity.
Wait! Pause for a second. Just one strip or like multiple?
It depends on what the bear consents to and how much money you've bid.
And to be fair, the strips are pretty big. Don't you get any fucking ideas? I swear to God, don't you get any fucking... I can see where this is going. The strips are pretty big. They're wide. Like they're pretty good strips. It's not like you have like a little mustache strip. Like it's a big.
Oh.
But if there was a charity that you would get waxed for, what would it be?
I mean, we raised like $4,000.
I mean, I would. Listen,
you can.
I bet you I think we could beat that. Just
I hollered the first time they waxed my nose.
Oh no!
Okay, like
I haven't had that done.
You're not missing anything.
Not a fan. I can get my back waxed all day long. That didn't really hurt.
Yeah, I don't imagine that would be too sensitive.
That really wasn't a big deal.
My guy has a really furry back too.
Anytime I get Anytime I get like Crocade or latex in my chest
Leather
hair,
scented double Scorpio.
that shit hurts like a motherfucker. Just trying to get that out of my chest hair. Waxing my chest hair, I don't know how to feel about that. I am a
Jesse
ginger.
says
I have
next
very
year.
sensitive skin. I have very sensitive
Jesse says
skin.
next year. Next year.
Oh.
The charity we're raising money for is the Lambda Phoenix Center. So they host and support sobriety programs for LGBTQ folk. So people that need to get into a sobriety program can go to the Lambda Phoenix Center and be around other like-minded people.
So to actually tie into that, the organization that our sex trivia on Friday is going to be supporting is also going to be the Lambda Center.
Oh,
we decided that doubling up, might as well make a weekend of it. So hey, if y'all are watching, come to Sex Trivia at Gracie's on Friday. Buy their they have a new brew that's being brewed like specifically for Gracie's.
Okay.
So $1 from any one of those sold goes to Lambda Center.
That's awesome. At Waxabear is going to be at the Anvil on Saturday night, and there will be many ways to contribute. One will be to bid on the bears getting waxed. You can also buy raffle tickets. There will be silent auction items on offer, including some of my art, if you are interested.
I already have one. I don't know if I need more.
Oh, it's very passe.
Was that a read?
I don't have a lot of. I mean, I guess I have wall space.
You can also just donate if you want to. And currently online on the Phoenix Boys of Leather Facebook page, there is an online fundraiser as well. So people who aren't local or who can't come to the in-person event can still have the opportunity to donate and help LGBTQ folks stay sober.
I will be there on Saturday. I'll probably get some raffle tickets.
Yay! Buying the raffle tickets is a fun experience.
It is a fun experience. Yes. Yes, it is.
They measure your inseam. They make sure that you have the right number. They're very thorough about it.
It's very very thorough.
It's pretty exquisite.
It's good. It's good. Depending on how chilly it is, it's going to determine on what I end up wearing. I was thinking my kilt, but I'm like, I'm a ginger.
I think it's going to be a chilly night.
I'm like, I'm a ginger. I'm going to be cold.
Do some cute, sexy pants, but make sure that they're tight so that they can really get your inseam off.
Yeah, because you want to make sure it's accurate. Yeah, has to be accurate. Yeah. I'm not entirely mad at that I'm not going to be here Saturday evening because one of the kids is having a sleepover, so there's going to be like a gaggle of girls here doing things like facials.
Oh, I want to come.
You know what? Come right on ahead, please. Come right on ahead. It'll be fantastic.
That is my jam right there. I will.
I have to be strategic in leaving the house, so you can distract them because they've seen me in drag. There's certain things that they haven't seen me in. Like there's certain things they know. They know that we're poly.
Okay.
We're very open about being poly. The kinky leather side, not so much. So I have to.
Asking, what kind of hat is that?
Right. So I have to just be strategic in leaving the house.
I could just picture the other parents being like, "Hey, so, my daughter noticed."
Right. Michaela's stepdad left the house and then kind of interesting outfit. We're just wondering what's that. Right. It's just, it's fine. It's fine. Totally fine. See, Felicia, you come. You and Dee can drink and
yay.
You can let them give you makeovers and things. I don't know what do 13-year-olds do? I don't know. Do they do makeovers and things?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you talk about boys and stuff? They're like, ew, no. I'm like,
they make TikToks, I imagine.
Oh, we didn't have TikTok when I was 13, so we just sat around and practiced kissing and talked about boys and stuff. We didn't have TikTok.
Actually, Felicia, I bet you would be an excellent TikTok star for a bunch of 13-year-olds.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus, you should totally come up and hang out. They'd be all about that shit. Oh my God, you can give them makeup tips.
You could give them makeup tips.
Let's do
that. Would be funny. That would be funny.
They'll take your picture and do filters and stuff.
Right. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or I can make them into a filter. I could just, instead of the drag filter, I could just put them in drag.
There you go. Perfect. It's like a built-in babysitter. It'll be fine. It'll be excellent. No, be totally fine. I don't think anybody will have any complaints. Easy. So, Waxabear, what time does the event start on Saturday?
It will be at 9 p.m.
God, that's so late.
But we also are encouraging folks to carpool because the parking situation is a little bit weak
Yeah.
at the Anvil. So if you carpool, you will also be able to get a free raffle ticket at the door. And
What if I carpool with just myself?
that doesn't count. Your trunk full of drag doesn't count as an extra passenger.
That's bullshit.
That's
Anyways.
rude. That is so rude.
Wow.
I realize it's like a whole other character. but-
Wow.
You can bring my friend.
That's another
You can
person.
bring my friend with you.
Oh, see there. That
She's dressed
Hey, girl.
today. She's dressed today.
There is a suggested donation at the door of $5. That's going to go toward the Lambda Phoenix Center as
Oh my
well.
god, you're just taking all my money.
Yeah.
It's a fundraiser, baby. That's what we're there to do.
First of all, I can't carpool by myself, and now I have to give them more money.
The rudeness in this.
Your participation is voluntary, but we will look forward to seeing it.
I just want to take a nap first. It starts past my
Yeah,
nap
get a
time.
nap in the afternoon. I think we're gonna have to do that too.
So 9 p.m. at Anvil. God, that's late. And then Friday night, make sure that, if you guys want to double down on the whole, like, supporting the Lambda Center, come to, see us at Gracie's. Do you have any advice for folks that maybe are starting to, they want to get into the leather community, they want to get into the scene, they're not sure where to start, they're not sure how to, like,
Find their way.
Yeah.
I would say find the people that smile, because the people that are really like broody and serious and
Right.
take themselves very seriously.
yeah.
That's great for like a sexy scene, but when you want to actually learn things and meet people that behave kindly and want to make a connection with you and are open are the way to go.
I just
So
look like
there
that.
are-
I just look like that.
That's
on
just
a
your
regular
face.
Hashtag RBF.
Mhm.
But no, really, like when people are new and like wanting to learn about this stuff, they can be kind of vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and they maybe don't know what isn't acceptable. So
Right.
maybe somebody that wants to try out being a submissive, they think, oh, well, to be a good submissive, then I have to do what I'm told. But if the person telling you to do things is telling you to do things that are not safe,
Right.
or that cross your personal boundaries, or aren't looking out for you,
Right.
you might feel compelled because you're new
Right.
that, well, I guess I have to go along with this,
Right.
because that's what it's about. And that is not what it's about.
Yeah.
So if you talk to people in a friendly, neutral space who are willing to just share their own experiences and help you know what is normal and acceptable and what's not, you stand a much better chance of having a positive experience.
One of the things that I tell people if they're new, it's like, because they get into
You can get into bad situations.
they get into these situations and there's like, well, if I'm a submissive, then I'm everybody's submissive. No, you're not. You are
Ooh.
a submissive. You could be someone's submissive, but just because you are a submissive doesn't mean that you are everyone's submissive. And on the flip side of that, just because you consider yourself a dom, a sir, a master, whatever, you are not everybody's dom or sir or master, and you don't get to tell everybody what to do just because you have that identity.
Because you're wearing that out.
Right. That's not how that works.
Mm-mm.
And
Being
that's
a
one
dom
of the
doesn't give you a path to be rude.
Wait.
Right. You don't get to be a dick just because you're a dom. That's not how that works.
I know
Yes,
that you
go
think
ahead.
that I think you'd think that everybody knows what you're talking about, but what if they don't? What's a dom? What's submissive?
A dom or a dominant is somebody that likes to be like the person in charge when it comes to the sexy dynamic. So they're the one like giving orders. They're the one that is saying what the rules are and what somebody else is going to do. There are myths that like doms are the ones doing the fucking and subs are the ones getting fucked. That is not always the case.
Nope.
There are dominant bottoms out there, and there are submissive tops that like to be treated like a dildo. There are tops that like to get tied up and flogged, and they have submissives doing that as a service for them. So it can look in a number of ways. A submissive is somebody that wants to be told what to do. They want to be kind of like in a lower position. They want to have rules that they have to follow. And all of that is very individual.
Yeah.
There are people who will tell you like, well, these are the rules of being a dominant. These are the rules of being a submissive. There are rules that pairs agree to and consent to. What one person consents to does not have to be what somebody else consents to.
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about like negotiating scenes. We've talked about things like that on the show a few times because the misinformation and the misconceptions out there are plentiful and dangerous in the wrong situation.
Respect yourself.
Or they listen to the TV or the movies.
Boundaries are important, regardless of whether you are a top or a bottom, a dominant or submissive. It doesn't matter. Boundaries are boundaries, and unless there is communication where you are allowed to push boundaries, if a boundary is crossed, that is an issue. It is not just because someone is a dominant doesn't give them free reign to walk all over your boundaries and just be like, well, I'm a dom, so
well, bitch, I'm a dom.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's
so not how that works.
And even well-intentioned and experienced people can sometimes accidentally cross boundaries. I have had experiences where people stated where they thought a boundary was.
Right.
And then as we approached that, we found out that the boundary was somewhere else altogether.
Right.
So sometimes we learn through experience.
And that's it's not intentional. And usually it's like a whoa.
Right.
Wait a minute.
And a good dominant will talk to you.
Right.
Stop what you're doing.
Right.
And talk to you about it.
Right.
And make sure you're okay.
Often
communication
check-ins are, especially if it's somebody new or you're trying something new, if you're getting, check-ins are important in one way or another, just to, hey,
all of that.
Okay.
As far as groups, I will plug the Phoenix Boys of Leather all day long. They are one of the greatest groups of people you could expect to meet. For people that are looking to play in more like the pansexual or heterosexual spaces, although this crowd is diversifying as well, Arizona Power Exchange has lots of classes. They have dungeon spaces.
They do, although they don't seem to vet people. We actually went to a meetup Monday night, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, let's go check it out. It was a casual, just social meetup, and it was like, oh geez, and then someone walked in. I know it wasn't Apex, but there are people that are affiliated with Apex, so that were in that.
So are there groups that don't vet people?
Well, when you have someone that is a sexual predator who walks in, then it's very common knowledge that he's a sexual predator, and you're like, nope, out.
Yeah.
So groups don't always vet folks properly, or they don't care. So just be mindful of that when getting into, like, I don't think there's a problem with definitely the Phoenix Boys of Leather would not have an issue sending people their way for sure.
Yeah.
Just Apex is trying to
I know their leadership has changed.
Yes.
And they are trying to move in the desired direction.
Yes.
So I think that as long as you have had conversations with people that you feel comfortable with,
right.
Maybe going there with somebody,
right,
is a good idea. I always like going to new places with people,
right,
so that I can at least have somebody there to check in with and make sure that I'm going to be leaving with somebody that I know.
Right. That's a good idea. All right. Next gig, I don't have anything except sex trivia coming up. That's all I got. So Friday, sex trivia, 8 p.m., Gracie's, supporting Lambda Center. I got nothing else.
I don't have anything else either, I don't think.
That's crazy. We do have some upcoming guests. Next week, we have Jack Rabid, who is in Austin and on the board of the Austin International Drag Festival. Super excited about that. November 30th, we have Dylan B. Dickerson White, who is Mr. Trans USA 2022. And then on December 7th, we have queer author Lee Call, who is going to be on with us. They're fabulous. I'm excited to have them on as well. So we do have some fun, some super fun guests coming up. That's it. Do we have anything else, Felicia?
If you're on Patreon, I owe you something, and I'm not saying what it is. And then this week you'll have a new something because Freddie's back, and I don't have to remember that I was supposed to do this something, and
It's
forgot.
fine. I got you. I got you. See, I'm not just a pretty face anymore. Now I can actually do shit. You're welcome.
So I totally thought about that as you just asked me, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to do it. And then we're working on trying to develop things for Patreon. So if you're on there, I essentially have thought about this for a bit now. I think I'm going to start posting less on Facebook and more on Patreon.
I'm terrible at remembering to post anywhere, so if you get something...
You've been doing pretty well.
I've been trying.
I have taught you well. Maybe I should just teach people social media for a living.
Earn those coins.
Yeah.
If you need a social media person, because I will say that folks have reached out to me, and then I give them the price, and then they go, oh.
That's because they don't want to pay for anything. They just want to pay you in exposure.
Right, which is not a thing.
Oh, I don't.
You're like, I'm as exposed as I would like to be.
Right. People die from exposure.
People die of exposure.
Oh my god, that should be my next shirt. Oh my god, that's wonderful.
That would actually be fantastic.
Oh my god. Okay, good night. Bye. I'll be right back.
Felicia has died of exposure.
Right. We can make that with my fancy new Cricut machine, which is in that cabinet right there.
Oh yay.
And if we start selling them at record amounts, then how fast can you make them?
Fast enough, I guess. I don't know. I'll make my partner do it. We have children. I'll make them do it.
I think there are specific
I don't think
laws
that's
on that.
legal.
It's fine. It's crafts. It's teaching them a trade. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
totally fine. We're giving them lessons that they can use later on in life. Anyway, thank you all so much.
I'm legally not a part of this.
Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Thank you so much to Sir Eric for driving up here and actually being like in studio. You're like our first in studio guest since before the pandemic.
I'm excited.
And you're the first like official person to like see this.
It's everything you dreamed it would be.
It's something.
Don't come over here. Don't come over here. This is a facade right here.
I have to say that this is actually relatively organized. Like there, like
it's cute in here.
See, like there was actually
I tried to have Dee come over and organize mine, but
there's a straight path from the door right to the desk. Like this, I think I did pretty good. I think I did.
It's a mess in here, but I have a clear pathway to the door. It's
there
like
you go.
It's like a drag hoarder's dream. You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. Thank you to everyone who watched live and to those who watch on the replay and who download the podcast. The people that actually listen to the podcast that want to listen to us without the mess of actually having
6,000 downloads.
Hey, I'll take 6,000 downloads. I'm happy with that, considering like the podcast is still relatively new-ish for us. So
yeah, and I've been doing it regularly. Yeah. I didn't forget that last week.
Oh, well, there's that. We will see you all next week for your Wednesday night conversation. Good night.
Bye.